What's cracking, everybody? XehrFelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle League content. In today's video, we're taking a look at some fun battles here in the Ultra League Near Legend ELO, nonetheless. Sent in by Trainer Mello at 2001. We are packing a Malamar on the lead here, but that's not why you clicked it. No, maybe you clicked it for the Malamar. I don't know. But we have an XL Malamar on the lead, extremely strong core breaker with some interesting coverage for the Ultra League. Does really well in almost every situation that doesn't involve a fairy or a dark type. And then we have Corviknight in the back. This thing is the new kid on the block. I don't have one built yet, so I'm actually interested to see how this Corviknight operates in the Ultra League if it's fully XL'd, as I think trainer said they had like a 215, 14, something like that. And then the Feraligatr, a non-shadow Feraligatr in the back as the safe switch, I reckon. This Feraligatr is able to take a few more hits, but obviously without being shadow, it doesn't do as much damage. So let's check out how this team operates here in the Ultra League, starting off with a nice matchup against the Walrein here. Walrein is a little bit of a blast from the past. The opponent does want to use it, though. It's still a very good mon. You know what? Unnerf Icicle Spear. Do it. Do it. Anyway, we're going to be seeing the opponent not decide to shield here, as the Malamar almost always goes for the foul play if they're just playing this out. The opponent safe switches here into a Donphan. Donphan is going to have a very bad time against Corviknight. It's completely walled here, all resisted damage, whereas the Corviknight has an opportunity to ramp up its damage and, well, not ramp up its damage, but ramp up its energy more so to be able to get more moves in at the after the matchup plays out, right? You can farm this down because you're not in any danger of getting taken out by any moves at all. Play rough does some damage, but it's not gonna do enough to matter here. The opponent's getting farmed down. This Corviknight is loaded on energy, which is a good opportunity for it. Now going straight for the Sky Attack here, we're gonna be seeing some damage put onto this Walrein, and the opponent decides to no shield. Are they gonna go for the energy? Yes, they are. Not looking to farm down with a shield here, but that's okay. Corviknight has done its job. It has gotten most of everything out of the way, and in comes just a Golurk, and it's just, man, Golurk was fun to run. I ran it a couple weeks ago, but man, Feraligatr is just going to make an absolute fool of this thing, unfortunately, with those Shadow Claws adding up as much as they are. And because this is a non-Shadow Gator, it's not necessarily going to have to worry as much about succumbing to the pressure of those Mud Slaps. But the opponent, I think, is just kind of giving up at this point. They're going to go ahead and let that one go. Good game. Well played. Next game here in the 3000 ELO range, we got a Zygarde on the lead. The good old tanky dragon boy is here. Man, I haven't used my Zygarde in Ultra League in several seasons, and I don't really miss it, to be honest. Every time I use it, it sucks, but like when my opponents use it, it's always aligned against the thing that it needs to be on every time. Feraligatr is going to come in here as a pretty decent response, pecking Ice Beam and being able to do a ton of damage here with the Hydro Cannons. Even though it's Zygarde, you're still doing respectable damage. And the opponent instead is going to come in with Tentacruel, because Tentacruel Zygarde is a very strong core in the Ultra League, and unfortunately, Feraligatr is going to be on the bad half of it. Hydro Cannon going to be chipping away at the Tentacruel as the opponent is amassing energy on their Tentacruel here, looking to try and either take this thing out with a Scald with some farm, or farm it all the way down, depending on what the opponent decides to do here. So stay hydrated, folks. Feraligatr's taking a Hydro Cannon to the road just like me. And then we're gonna see them safe switch into the hot squid. Malamar here is gonna be getting a shield and forcing the opponent's energy, and it's just gonna let this go. It's fine. We have Corviknight. Hopefully the opponent, I think that Mello here is trying to read that this team might just be weak to Corviknight entirely. There's maybe a specific team that they're expecting here, so we'll have to see what the third Pokemon is. Zygarde is gonna get left low here, and really Corviknight's gonna be able to come in here and just farm this all the way down, as there really isn't anything that this Zygarde has that can hit the Corviknight other than these crunches. So the opponent's going to be able to get to two of them, however. So do a little bit of damage here, but we'll see what the opponent has in the back. And Corviknight might be doing fine here. We'll see. The opponent, they have their Zygarde go down, and in comes another Golurk. Okay, so we go double. Huh? What? Wait, we had all that energy. Why are we throwing Sky Attack with two shields? Huh? Trainer, no! Definitely want to be going for the double payback in this scenario with that much energy lead. You could just go for the payback, and then the Tentacruel has absolutely no HP in the back. It's just going to get mowed down by these sand attacks. So now I think we've enabled hard mode in this game, and we're going to be trying to find a way out. Going to find our way out the hard way. Yes, we're going to be looking. Now, the Tentacruel is in the back with some HP. We're looking to see a swap, and the opponent was going for the combo play, and Tentacruel is going to have its energy caught. The Scald not going into the Corviknight, which is massive. The farm down here, and now we're going. Please go for the payback. Yes. Yes. We got it. The payback going out this time, and we're not even going to charge it, but I'm going to boom it anyway. Taking him out. Good game. Next game up, we're going to have Malamar on the lead into the opponent's Steelix. This is an okay lead. I mean, your foul plays are doing neutral, as your superpower would do super effective, but you really can never bring anything into this. So the opponent's going to have to just hope that this is a superpower. Or we're going to have to hope it's a superpower. The opponent does not shield. They know they don't need to. And there's some stuttering in the game. Says no. Niantic. Scopely, somebody fix this, please. Somebody please fix this. Who let these bugs in here? Come collect them. Bug catcher, you're doing, you got a job to do, man. Shield one down, though. That should put this healthily in range. Man, I'm just picking all the wrong words for the right things. That's going to put this thing in a health range where a Hydro Cannon would definitely knock out. Opponent's going to come in now with a Cresselia with Psycho Cut. I've seen some confusion Cresses out there lately. It's an interesting choice. I'm not fond of the slow confusion, and Crest really doesn't have as many targets as it used to in the Open Ultra League. So we're going to be seeing Feraligatr, one of its nemesis here, being able to go for super effective Shadow Claws and just continue to fire off these Hydro Cannons. I expect that the Feraligatr is going to go ahead and shield up this Grass Knot or look to swap. Nope, they did CMP tie, so I was expecting them to just go for the max farm and go for a shield play here. But now, down 2 shields, Feraligatr going to get the double Hydro Cannon, going to let him rip. Nope, we're going to catch on the Malamar because that's what the Malamar is now there for. With 2 HP, the Grass Knot's going to knock it out here. We're going to wait out that switch clock and then look to probably come in with the Corviknight, as the opponent has really no way to damage the Corviknight. They're going to be forced to come in with their Giratina, but we are packing payback, and this time we go for the payback right away. This is exactly what I wanted to see. How does Corviknight do into this bulky Giratina? 50% with the payback. That is nasty work, Corviknight. That is nasty work. Man, I'm gonna have to finish mine soon. This is silly. We're gonna see Sky Attack go off here, and basically this Giratina is down in a range where it's now forced to shield this. And that's the unfortunate thing, is now you have to, or you just let it go, and that's gonna be a wrap pretty much here. I think we have the opponent's gonna be coming back in, coming round the mountain when she comes. There's a Steelix coming, and there's no oh man, this Feraligatr's about to have an absolute field day with the Steelix, going for the Hydro Cannon, getting the final shield. Opponent does not have the ability, or chooses not to switch out, not knowing that the Gator has 2 moves, and Gator's going to take it out. What's in the back? That Cresselia is not getting to a move. That's a good game. Well played. All right, getting into the next battle here. We got Malamar into Feraligatr. Pretty neutral-ish lead, but you really can't swap here because the Feraligatr is going to do well against the backline, especially if we put our own Feraligatr in behind energy. So we're going to be seeing the opponent go for their charge move. Malamar can tank 1 here, no problem. And then we have the ability to go for the superpower. If the opponent decides not to shield this, it puts us in a good spot to bring our own Feraligatr, which they do not. In comes the Gator, and they're going to soak the energy, which is likely a Hydro Cannon here, which is nice. You get the resisted energy here. Malamar's still got some energy to be able to do something late game, and the opponent's going to come in with their Primeape. Now, if Primeape gets to a close combat, this Feraligatr is going to be having a bad day, but they did not shield the Hydro Cannon. They know that they don't have to, but this puts it in a really nice range for Malamar to Psywave down if it wants to. Opponent's going to go for the Rage Fist or the close combat. They do full send that close combat, and they're close enough to another move that they can get to one, and they do. That's going to be a Rage Fist most likely here. Opponent going to get the shield from this trainer. Close combat is reached, but now Malamar has quite a bit more energy than it did before. Let's going to see what happens in this game here. We got Corviknight in the back, waiting in the wings. I'm so funny. What the heck just happened? The game just skipped. Anyway, we're now throwing a foul play into the Annihilate that came in, got the shield, and now Annihilate against Corviknight. And Corviknight will be able to easily get to 2 Sky Attacks here, I think, before that the Annihilate can get to any meaningful damage. With the bulk in the Ultra League, this is crazy. We're expecting the opponent to try and make a swap to catch at some point. So Melot doing a very nice job here of not actually like throwing right during that point where they can switch with the counter damage registering, and they can basically the counters. They're throwing in the middle of the counters. All right, I got there. Okay, I'm an old man. Leave me be. Feraligatr is going to come in here. This is actually a pretty dangerous situation because now the Annihilate has a little bit of energy. We're going to have to see if we can't catch, or we can just get to a move. No, the opponent can't get to a move of the Gator. That's over. It's game over. That's it. Good game. Oh, man. Next game, we got Malamar versus Cresselia. This is a deceptively interesting matchup here, but the opponent deciding to just come straight in with the Galarian Moltres, and Meloetta is in shambles. They do not have a way to deal with this Moltres right now. They probably don't... Okay, they don't shield the superpower. I thought they might think about it, but Moltres is pretty bulky, at least if you're not running my Moltres, which is a like 13 or 12, 15, 15. It is not a good IV, but we make do with what we have, okay? Going for the Ice Beam, I like not baiting here. You're giving yourself an opportunity to overfarm. The opponent might think it's a Hydro Cannon, which they do, and they don't shield here. And then coming with an Ampharos. Well, I was going to say if they come back in with the Cresselia, we're going to be having a good time because of the Shadow Claws adding up. But, I mean, Ampharos is it's pretty nice to have this out here because now you can definitely throw Corviknight against the Cresselia, and that's just a matchup that'll win you a game all on its own. Opponent would basically have to throw Zap Cannon or Focus Blast here to take out the Malamar, but I don't hate the shield here because you know that you have the alignment on this with this Corviknight onto the Cresselia. You can shield all day here if you want to, at least making sure that you get rid of this Ampharos because it is very, very, very dangerous against Corviknight. Even though Corviknight has Sand Attack, that does not mean that that's a good matchup for it. The opponent does decide to swap in Cresselia here, and Meloetta very smartly banks the energy on the Malamar for later to be able to KO the opponent's Ampharos when it needs to, and we have the winning matchup. They have Future Sight. That's a full scent Future Sight. Does absolutely nothing. The opponent knows they're out of it. Good game. Man, that Corviknight dominating Cresselia. Alolan Sandslash in the lead in the next game, and this is going to be awkward because the opponent knows that they get one shot by superpower, but at the same time, when do you want to throw the superpower versus the foul play? Usually the first move is going to end up being the foul play because you don't want to debuff yourself before the opponent throws their charge move, and then you could build up to back-to-back superpowers if you want. Cold water hits so well, man. The opponent's going for double Ice Punch here. Superpower is nearly doubled up on. Going to get to this next one here just as the opponent is reaching their third Ice Punch. And you can even shield him in this matchup if you like, but if the opponent's not willing, they actually catch. Oh, on the Gator. That's a brutal, nice catch by the opponent here. But them being halfway down means they're already nearly in Hydro Cannon range. So Meloetta can overfarm perfectly in this scenario, get some more Shadow Claws in, and throw right before the opponent would get to the move. And that is going to basically force a shield or take out the Gator here. The opponent not at a charge move or perhaps stop tapping. It was hard to tell there. But this is looking good. Sandslash is going to come in, has to go for the Drill Run, and uses all of its energy to do so, which means now the... Oh, you even get to the Hydro. That is nasty. That is the power of a non-shadow able to withstand some of that massive damage. And in comes the... Oh, dude, you put the Gastrodon on the Corviknight. Oh, no, it's over. Oh, it is so over. Gastrodon is not having a time. It is Jover. This game is more than Jover, ladies and gentlemen. And the opponent probably knows it. They want to keep playing it out, I guess. I don't really see a point. You have a Gastrodon against Corviknight. There's not really much we're going to be able to do here. Earth Power is doing pitiful damage. It even healed the Corviknight a little bit. And the opponent's going to concede there. Well played. Going up against Pangoro in the lead. This is not a great matchup for the Malamar, but you really don't have a choice here because Pangoro can really just power through everything on this team, resisting the Psy Waves and the Shadow Claws, and also just Sand Attack does not do a whole lot of damage. So the opponent's going to be fearful potentially of Superpower, as Pangoro is a very glassy Pokemon. It doesn't necessarily want to even risk taking a superpower, but the opponent will have to basically go for close combat here in order to be able to take out the Malamar, and they go for the Night Slash, which is a nice call here. Going to be able to go for a second superpower if we want to. Is the opponent willing to shield again? Is their Pangoro everything to them? Yes, it is. They want to be protecting the best boy, Pangoro, and he's going to be able to get another Night Slash or a close combat in, and the opponent goes for another Night Slash. Can we reach the superpower? Yes, we can. Just like Bob the Builder, yes, we can. Superpower is going to be getting a knockout most likely. Nope, very close, but Feraligatr's going to come in to be able to absorb whatever comes out this way. Night Slash not doing a whole lot, and the opponent's got the Tentacruel, and the Feraligatr is just feeling the pain of this decision, unfortunately. But Corviknight in the back, really strong against this Tentacruel or whatever's going to be left of it after the Feraligatr throws all of these Hydro Cannons that are going to be coming its way. Scald, okay. The Feraligatr still getting at least 1 or 2 more Hydro Cannons. Might be 2. It looks really close, but I would reckon it'd probably be just 1 more here. It's hard to see. Can you get to another one? Oh, you can get to another one. We bank it for later, bringing in the Corviknight. Really nice play here to be able to save that energy for later to snipe anything that could be in the back, as we don't know the third. Opponent has the Feraligatr, so they're basically running Pangoro, Tentacruel, Feraligatr, double water comp here. And in the 0 shields, this isn't super great because I'm pretty sure that 2 Hydro Cannons is going to knock out this Corviknight, but it's hanging on, but not going to be able to get to a move. I don't think the opponent, however, gets scared and throws their energy. And remember, there was a Hydro Cannon banked on the Feraligatr. That's going to be important for later. And it comes here right now, is going to be looking to get that energy off, and then hopefully Malamar can finish this game, farming down what's left of the Gator here, maybe getting to the farm down against Pangoro. Oh, that's it. The opponent cannot come back in with the Feraligatr. They have to try to hope they can farm down with the Tentacruel, and they can't. We get to the superpower to close out the game against the Gator. What a roller coaster end game that was, but well played. Good game. This, you know, I've been searching for a Corviknight team. This just might be it. This just might be the sauce. All right. Dragonite lead. I'm interested to see how this one plays out, because you kind of have to stay in with Malamar here. Opponent can easily just outpace to these foul plays because they do win CMP. And foul play, I don't know if it's the same pacing, but they both get to the first 2 at 12. And then we're going to be going for Superpower. Superpower would be enough to put this thing in a range where it's close to being knocked out. It is a Shadow Dragonite. Superpower looking to lock in here. Does it do enough damage to threaten? Does it get the shield even? Opponent double shields the Dragonite, being down 2-0 shields here, and they're going to come straight in with a Shadow Tentacruel. Corviknight's coming in, and it's going to get as much energy as it well pleases as it goes for the throat of this Shadow Tentacruel here. Love the Shadow Tentacruel. I've tried to use one. I can't seem to make it work any better than the regular one. And we hit the Scald drop. No! Oh, dude, that's painful. That is painful, because now you cannot continue to just simply play this out. You now have to swap at some point, and that just feels bad, man. Now, thankfully, even with 2 debuffs, this would probably be enough for a Sky Attack to be able to knock out the Dragonite at some point. It's going to be really nice overfarm here by Meloette, and the opponent comes up with Skeleton. Oh, we panic, and we go for the Sky Attack. This should have been a payback. It should have been, but that's okay, because Gator's in the back, up his shield. There's absolutely nothing that the Skeledirge can do here. They're going to win Charge Attack priority. There's no way this Hydro Cannon does not knock out the Skeledirge. My poor boy. Look what you did. You massacred my boy. Tentacruel is going to come in. You could shield this. You don't have to. Usually they're not packing Sludge Wave, so Acid Spray. Okay, you could grow up a little bit. Throw those Acid Sprays. Nah, Nope, and they know it's over. Concede. Good game. Looking to lock in this next game against my buddy Yashivs, who's climbing the legend himself, complaining about people gatekeeping him at the 2990 range. I had this conversation with him, so I can poke fun at him for it. But got that Zygarde, and I think he deserves to get gatekept if he runs Zygarde, let's be honest. I'm just going to put that out there. Locking up a ton of energy here on the Malamar and swapping into the Feraligatr. I don't mind this play. You do technically have 2 better answers in the back to the Zygarde here. Expecting, okay, so he comes in with a Feraligatr. Up energy, this is nice, but a defense drop from that crunch is not great. Now, normally Zygardes are paired with Tentacruel, so if that's the case, then this looks like it's probably just a win already, as we're getting the Feraligatr out on the field away from the Corviknight, which is really nice here. Opponent's going to go for that Hydro Cannon, but the non-Shadow hanging on by a thread, being able to go for their own Hydro Cannon, just being able to take that thing nearly out into the red, well, nearly out and into the red. English, the words go through faster than come out the mouth, and sometimes some of them just get lost. Sent into the ether, somewhere to never be found. Anyway, Malamar's going for a foul play, if you're paying attention to that, not my nonsense. But Superpower is going to come through here, and that's going to do just enough to either get very close to a knockout here or take it out. Not quite, but in comes the Corviknight, resisting all of the energy. We saw Bulldoze and Crunch, I'm pretty sure, so that's probably the move set here. A defense drop on the Corviknight. Not today. In comes Gastrodon Trainer. It's over. You can't win this with a Gastrodon. Shame on you. We're running Mud Slap in the Ultra League. Not in here. Get rid of these Mud Slappers. This stupid slug. I say as somebody who's run this stupid slug several times in Ultra League because it actually is not that bad. Ha, 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 ha. Anyway, this is a one game here. There's not really anything that the opponent can do with what they have left in the game, as the Corviknight is just too bulky to overcome, and all this damage is just going to be piling up over and over and over. And you could shield it. You don't have to. You saw how much damage the Earth Power did. We shield up this Earth Power here, expecting the catch. There's the catch. Fully farmed down the Zygarde. Up to 100 energy. Can throw the back-to-back nearly sky attacks here and just take this game out. The opponent not going to be able to do anything against the might of Corviknight. Do we go for the combo play? Absolutely not. We're going to stay in, tank this Earth Power like a Giga Chad bird here, and then the opponent going to have to take a Sky Attack in return, and that's going to close out this game. Well played. Good game. The opponent was actually the first student I ever take, so it's kind of cool to see him pop up in this video. We have Tentacruel in the lead with Malamar, and Malamar is going to have a good time here. Those side waves are going to add up so quickly. The opponent is staying in. They might be core broken by the Malamar here. This is a very, very positive matchup for Malamar, as it's getting a ton of side wave damage in during the time it takes for the Tentacruel just to get to a charge move. It's already almost depleted here. The opponent could stay in. They would have to shield in order to take this matchup, except the attack drop comes. It's not as bad as you might think, but foul play is going to be reached right before the opponent can get to their next Scald here. Very nice move timing, and or I should say timing, but counting, I guess, would be the right thing. And there's an Annihilate in the back. This is going to be pretty nice for Feraligatr. The opponent is going to likely... No, they don't shield it. Okay, they don't shield it. But in comes Feraligatr. It is going to be able to deal heavy, super effective damage with those Shadow Claws. It just adds up so quick. The opponent going for a Rage Fist right away, not even bothering to build it to the close combat. An easy no shield for the Feraligatr here, as you can get off a move and then potentially come out of this matchup with a couple of Sky Attacks if they decide not to shield it, but they do. But it doesn't matter. Corviknight sees an opening, and it's going to be swooping in for the Sky Attacks here. But it takes a little while to get there. Those Sand Attacks, they take some time to build up, but double boosted, triple boosted coming now. We're going to be going for the Sky Attack. This is going to be basically guaranteed to get the final shield from the opponent. They're going to have to lose their fort. Oh, they lose the monkey. They let him go. The Primeape's gone. Pig Monkey's gone. And in comes Annihilate. Annihilate is going to start ramping its counter damage back up with those Rage Fists, hoping to be able to finish powering through the Feraligatr. But I have a feeling that the Sky Attack will be reached here, and that's unfortunately doom for the opponent, as the Gator's going to be able to use both of those shields to get to a Hydro Cannon and win the game, no problem here. So this is going to be pretty much Jover here for the opponent. The Rage Fist going to get shielded. All the Rage Fists from this point are going to get shielded. Hydro Cannon is reached, and Feraligatr taking the win on this one. Good job, buddy. Great game. Well played. Taking out the double fighter squad with Tentacruel in the league. Great games. These are some fun games. I thought that this was a really strong Corviknight team. I'm not usually able to piece together teams like that work, because usually I just find ridiculous things at hard counter or whatever I'm using. But this is worth a try. I think if you have an XL Corviknight, most of y'all probably have a non-Shadow Gator. Malamar, I mean, we just had a Spotlight Hour. There was some events with it. You might have one. So this could be a really strong team to run in the Ultra League while you're trying to, find your way to the end of the season here. Looking forward to playing, some more Great League teams and some Mega Masters in a couple days. That'd be kind of sweet. But anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for listening to my babbling. Talk to you next time, guys. Bye.